You do not have deep emotions. No, you have unregulated ones. We, on the other hand, we know that your emotions are unregulated, and you go ahead to cover it up with a quote, "Oh, I'm a sensitive person. I'm just sensitive." And that line, "I'm a sensitive person," is the reason your life is harder than it should be. That's because you don't know the difference. So you excuse chaos as your personality. So let me ask you something. When you feel something, whatever emotion it is, do you feel it or does it overwhelm you? Does it just take over you completely? Stay with me because at the end of this video, I will show you one sign that exposes dysregulation instantly. If you miss it, you will keep misunderstanding yourself for the rest of your life. Hey you, welcome back. Today we're talking about something people romanticize way too much: sensitivity versus emotional regulation. And I'm not here to comfort you with labels. I'm here to help us see it clearly. And at the end of this video, once you see it, there is no way you can unsee it. So welcome back. So what is sensitivity? Sensitivity is not weakness. It's not being fragile. It's not crying easily and you don't even know why you're crying. That's not sensitivity. Sensitivity is accurate emotional perception. That means you notice a shift in your emotion, you understand why there's a shift in your emotion, and you can handle the feeling that that shift in your emotion has caused. It also means you having the ability to read an environment, read a room. You can walk into a place and you can read that there's tension before anyone opens their mouth to speak. You notice the shift in somebody's tone or a person's body language, and your brain just gives you the signal. Click. uh that is you being very aware. Or let's say you attend a party, everybody's laughing, being all chitty chatty, and you notice that one person is quiet. You sense it, you pick up the signals, and it affects you just a little. That is sensitivity. And if you feel every emotion and you can still stay grounded, that is power. That is you being a very powerful person. Then this is where a lot of people lie to themselves. The moment your emotions start controlling your behavior, we have crossed a line, and so many people don't even notice when this happens. So now, what is emotional dysregulation? It is losing control over your emotional system. It means your reactions are bigger than the situation. The situation is a 3, your reaction is a 9 or a 12. Your emotions linger longer than necessary and you struggle to get back to base. That is you being emotionally dysregulated. Now, I need you to know and always remember that the emotion is not the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is your inability to process and release it. Let's take this example. Maybe you get criticized at work or a friend of yours criticizes you. An emotionally regulated person will feel it, process it, and kaboom, move on. While an emotionally dysregulated person will feel it, spiral. You will replay the situation all day long, shut down, or you will explode. Do you see the difference now? So tomorrow you will know whether you're an emotionally regulated or dysregulated person. And notice that it is the same trigger, but different systems, different reaction. The same criticism one person faced is the same another person faced. So we can't say it is different. And let me also say this, that a sensitive person might feel hurt by an action, feel the emotion, live through it and move on. But an emotionally dysregulated person allows an action define the person. So something happens, you let the action or the perception a person has of you define you, which is so wrong. Now let's differentiate it. Pay attention. Sensitivity is what you feel, how you feel. While dysregulation is about what your feelings do to you or what your feelings cause you to do. Imagine your feeling causes you to pop somebody. You are not okay. You are emotionally dysregulated. If you feel deeply, but you can return back to base, you can return to center after a while, then you are sensitive. But if your emotions hijack your entire day, emotions just take control, just takes ownership and rulership of your entire day, emotions now control your actions. You are highly dysregulated. You are a dysregulated person. Remember, I told you there's one sign, there's just one sign to expose dysregulation. And that sign is recovery time. That's it. How long does it take you to move on? How long does it take you to move back to base? How long does it take you to go on with your life? Move back to the center. How long does it take you to just move on? Does it take you hours? Does it take you days? Does it take you minutes? A sensitive person feels deeply, right? But does not stay stuck. A sensitive person will recover quickly, but a dysregulated person will feel deeply, but will still stay stuck. You will still live in that bubble. Let me ask you this ruthless question that I do not need you to answer to me, but to answer to yourself. When something triggers you, how long does it take you to recover? How long gone are you? How long does it take you to poof, go there? Hmm? Answer it to yourself. And by the answer, you will know whether you're sensitive or you're dysregulated. Sometimes a lot of people confuse the two, being dysregulated and being sensitive. Some people lean towards calling themselves sensitive because, oh, look, listen to the word sensitive. It sounds so poetic, sounds so nice, so charming. But then calling yourself sensitive when you're dysregulated is like calling a storm a little rain. It sounds very nice. But have you checked the level of damage? Have you compared the level of damage between when a little rain falls and when there's a storm? And now here's the danger. If you mislabel dysregulation as sensitivity, you will never fix it. You will protect it, you will defend it, and you will go as far as building an identity around that bubble. Now let's imagine this scenario. Two people are holding a glass of water each, right? Same weight, the glass is the same weight. The same liter of water in the first glass is the same liter of water in the second glass. Now, let's say person A holds the glass and is tired and decides to keep it. The person B holds the glass, is so tired, is exhausted, but is still holding on to that glass. Hours later, person A doesn't feel as much pain. He feels little to no pain compared to the pain person B feels. Not because the glass was heavy, no, but because you would not release it. That is the easiest way I know to explain what this regulation is. Not the emotion, the grip, the way that you hold on to that pain and you don't want to let it go. That is dysregulation. Now, how can you manage your emotions? How can you help yourself so that you don't end up becoming an emotionally dysregulated person? Number one is mindfulness, but it's not the way you think. Forget the aesthetics. Now, when something happens, this is how you manage it. When something happens, you don't react immediately. Observe it. Try to understand what that situation has made you feel. Do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? Do you feel cheated? Understand the emotion that that situation came with. Name it and know that emotion by the name. Another way is to journal. I highly recommend journaling. Be expressive. Write it down. Explain to yourself how that situation made you feel. Your mind loops, your mind skips, but paper breaks the loop. When you write, you organize your thoughts, you slow down chaos, and you recognize patterns. Patterns are very powerful, so you can understand what the situation did to your whole emotional system. Another way would be to check in emotionally with yourself. Most people don't think they are emotionally dysregulated until it's too late. When you feel something, do you ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What story am I telling myself? Why now? Of all times, why now? You do not wait for the breakdown, you catch the build up before it spirals into something else. Seek professional help, go for therapy. Go for therapy. I would advise it. Let's not pretend some things are too deep to fix alone, if we're being honest. Some things are way too deep to fix alone. And therapy is no weakness. Anybody who tries to shame you for seeking professional advice is emotionally dysregulated, probably has a knot loose up in their head. But I need you to know that even with all the work, none of it will work if you keep believing the dangerous lie. If you keep believing this lie that you are your emotions, that would whatever you've done prior to this time is waste of time, waste of energy, waste of investment. You are not your emotion. You only experience these things. You only feel them. They don't define you. That's not a definitive line of who you are. The moment you start identifying as your emotion, you lose control over them. You lose the ability to regulate yourself. Let's just come home for a little while. Sensitivity is a gift. Dysregulation is a skill issue. One of it you can fix. You do not need to feel less, you just need to handle more. So next time you catch yourself saying, "Oh, I'm sensitive," pause and ask yourself, am I sensitive? Or do I just not know how to regulate my emotions? Because the truth is, you are not fragile, you're just untrained. And once you train that system, you don't lose steps, you finally gain control over it. With all this being said, I know you can spot the patterns in your life, and I want you to answer this question honestly. Are you sensitive, or you're just emotionally dysregulated? Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.